Hey there, beautiful. Yes, I'm talking to you. Have you ever found yourself bending over backward, rearranging your life, or sacrificing your dreams for a man? Pauses, raises an eyebrow. Oh, don't worry, we've all been there. But today, we're going to talk about the 7 things you should never do for a man. Why? Because you're a queen, and queens don't dim their light for anyone. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. Never change who you are. Picture this. You're at a party, the music is thumping, and you're in your element. You're laughing so hard your stomach hurts, tears streaming down your face, and your laugh, that loud, unapologetic, full-bodied laugh, echoes across the room. Someone turns to look, and for a split second, you feel self-conscious. But then you remember, this is you. This is the real, unfiltered, glorious you. And you wouldn't trade it for the world. Here's the thing. Life has a funny way of trying to sand down your edges to make you fit into some neat little box. Society whispers, be quieter, be smaller, be less. Love, especially, can make you question yourself. You meet someone and suddenly you're wondering, should I tone it down? Should I be more mysterious, more reserved, more whatever it is they want? Stop right there. Let me tell you a story. Once, there was a girl who loved the stars. She could name every constellation, tell you the history of each galaxy, and she'd spend hours lying on her roof, mapping the night sky in her mind. Then she met someone who said, "Stars? That's kind of weird. Why don't you talk about something normal?" And for a while she did. She tucked away her telescope, stopped sharing her passion, and tried to be normal. But here's the twist. The stars didn't stop shining just because she stopped looking. And neither did she. One day, she met someone else. This person didn't just listen to her talk about the stars. They bought her a telescope. They stayed up all night with her, pointing out constellations, asking questions, and marveling at the universe. They didn't just love her, they loved her. The real her. The stargazer, the dreamer, the one who laughed too loud and danced like no one was watching. That's the kind of love you deserve. The kind that doesn't ask you to change, but celebrates you exactly as you are. So, here's the deal. Never, ever change who you are. Not for a man. Not for anyone. You know that thing you do when you laugh too loud? Or how you geek out over your favorite book series? Or maybe it's the way you dance like no one's watching, even when everyone is. That's your magic. That's what makes you, you. Don't dim it. Don't hide it. Don't apologize for it. If someone doesn't love the real, unfiltered you, then they don't deserve you. Period. And remember, the right person won't just love you. They'll love the way your eyes light up when you talk about your passions. They'll love the way you snort when you laugh too hard. They'll love the way you dance like nobody's watching, even when the whole world is. Because here's the truth. You are a masterpiece. A one-of-a-kind, irreplaceable, glittering constellation in a sky full of stars. And anyone who can't see that, well, they're just looking at the wrong sky. So keep laughing too loud. Keep geeking out. Keep dancing like no one's watching. Keep being unapologetically, brilliantly, authentically you. Because that's where the magic happens. And that's where you'll find the love that's meant for you. The kind that sees you, celebrates you, and loves you for exactly who you are. Now go out there and shine. The world is waiting for your light. Number 2. Never sacrifice your dreams. Let me take you on a journey. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping through your hair, the sun setting in a blaze of orange and pink. Below you stretches a vast, uncharted landscape, your future. It's wild, it's unpredictable, and it's yours. You can feel the weight of your dreams in your chest, beating like a second heart. They're alive, they're fierce, and they're calling you forward. Now imagine someone steps beside you. They take your hand and say, "Jump. I'll be right here with you." That's the kind of love you deserve. Not someone who says, "Stay here with me. It's safer." Not someone who says, "Your dreams are too big, too risky, too much." Here's the thing about dreams. They're not just ideas. They're pieces of your soul. They're the whispers of who you're meant to become. And no one has the right to ask you to silence them. Let me tell you a story. Once there was a girl who dreamed of building bridges. Not the kind made of steel and concrete, but the kind that connected people, cultures, and ideas. She wanted to travel the world, to learn languages, to write stories that made people feel seen. But then she met someone who said, "Stay here with me. Build a life with me. Your dreams can wait." And for a while she did. She stayed. She put her passport in a drawer, her notebooks on a shelf, and told herself, "Someday." But someday turned into weeks, then months, then years. And one day, she looked in the mirror and barely recognized the person staring back. But here's the twist. The dreams didn't die. They waited. They whispered to her in the quiet moments, in the spaces between breaths. And one day, she listened. She packed her bags, bought a one-way ticket, and stepped into the unknown. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, of fear, of heartache. But there were also moments of pure, unbridled joy. The kind of joy that comes from living a life that's truly yours. And then she met someone new. Someone who didn't ask her to choose. Someone who said, "Tell me about your dreams," and then listened, really listened. Someone who said, "Let's build them together." That's the kind of love you deserve. The kind that doesn't ask you to shrink, but to grow. The kind that doesn't clip your wings, but helps you fly. So, if you've been dreaming of starting your own business, traveling the world, writing that novel, or anything else, don't you dare put it on hold for someone else. A man who truly loves you will want to see you soar. He'll be your biggest cheerleader, your partner in crime, your safe place to land. And if he says, "It's me or your dreams," sweetheart, choose your dreams. Every single time. Because here's the truth. Your dreams are not just goals. They're your destiny. They're the map to your truest, most authentic self. And anyone who doesn't see that, they're not your person. So take that leap. Build those bridges. Write that story. The world is waiting for your light, your voice, your magic. And the right person will be there, not holding you back, but walking beside you, hand in hand, as you chase the horizon together. Now go out there and dream. The future is yours to create. Number 3. Never apologize for your standards. Let me tell you a story. Once there was a queen. Not the kind who lived in a castle with a crown on her head, but the kind who walked among us, strong, radiant, and unshakable in her worth. She had a list, not of demands, but of standards. Standards that said, "I deserve respect. I deserve honesty. I deserve love that doesn't make me question my value." One day, a suitor came knocking. He was charming, witty, and full of promises. But when he saw her list, he laughed. "You expect too much," he said. "No one can live up to this." And for a moment, the queen doubted herself. Maybe she was asking for too much. Maybe she should lower her standards just a little, just to be loved. But then she remembered something her grandmother once told her. A queen never bows to a jester. So she stood tall, looked him in the eye, and said, "These are not just standards. They are the reflection of my worth. If you cannot meet them, the door is right there." And with that, he left. Here's the thing. Having standards isn't about being picky or demanding. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. It's about saying, "I deserve love that lifts me up, not tears me down." Let's get one thing straight. Wanting a man who respects you, communicates openly, and treats you like the queen you are isn't asking for too much. It's asking for the bare minimum. Yet somehow, society loves to tell women they're too much, too independent, too ambitious, too emotional, too something. But let me ask you this. Since when did knowing your worth become a crime? Since when did wanting to be treated with kindness and respect become a flaw? Here's another story. There was a woman who loved fiercely and deeply. She gave her all to every relationship, bending over backward to make it work. But no matter how much she gave, it was never enough. She was told she was too sensitive when she expressed her feelings, too demanding when she asked for basic respect, and too idealistic when she dreamed of a love that felt like home. One day, she broke. She looked in the mirror and said, "Enough." She realized she wasn't the problem. The problem was settling for less than she deserved. So she made a vow: no more apologies, no more compromises, no more shrinking herself to fit into someone else's idea of love. And then something magical happened. When she stopped apologizing for her standards, the right people started showing up. People who respected her boundaries, celebrated her strength, and loved her for exactly who she was. So, here's the deal. Your standards are not up for negotiation. They are the guardrails that protect your heart, your peace, and your soul. They are the foundation of the love you deserve. If someone tells you you're too much, smile and say, "Thank you. I am. And I won't apologize for it." Because here's the truth. You are not too much. You are enough. More than enough. And anyone who can't see that isn't your person. Your standards are your superpower. They are the compass that guides you to the love you deserve. So hold them close. Protect them fiercely. And never, ever apologize for them. Now go out there and own your worth. The right love will rise to meet you. Number 4. Never ignore the red flags. Let me take you on a journey. A cautionary tale, but also one of empowerment. Imagine this. You're walking through a beautiful, sunlit forest. The trees are tall, the air is crisp, and the path ahead seems inviting. But as you walk, you start to notice things. A thorn here, a broken branch there. Maybe the birds stop singing, or the sunlight dims just a little. At first, you brush it off. It's nothing, you tell yourself. I'm just overthinking. But deep down, you feel it in your gut. Something's not right. That's what red flags feel like. They're the whispers of intuition, the subtle signs that something's off. And ignoring them? That's like walking deeper into the forest, even as the path grows darker and the thorns thicker. Let me tell you a story. Once, there was a woman who fell in love with a man who seemed perfect. He was charming, attentive, and made her feel like the center of his world. But there were moments, tiny, fleeting moments, when his mask slipped. A sharp comment here, a broken promise there. Once, he canceled plans last minute and didn't call for days. Another time, he brushed off her feelings, saying she was too sensitive. Each time, she felt that little tug in her chest, that voice saying, "This isn't right." But she ignored it. She told herself, "He's just stressed. He didn't mean it. I'm overreacting." But here's the thing about red flags. They don't go away just because you ignore them. They grow. One day, the man she loved did something that shattered her heart. And as she sat there, picking up the pieces, she realized something. The signs were always there. She just didn't want to see them. Now, let me tell you another story. There was another woman who also fell in love. This man, too, seemed perfect. But when the red flags appeared, the disrespect, the inconsistency, the way he made her feel small, she didn't ignore them. She listened to that little voice in her head. She trusted her gut. And when he showed her who he really was, she believed him. She walked away. It wasn't easy. It hurt like hell. But you know what hurt more? the thought of staying and losing herself in the process. Here's the truth. Red flags aren't just warnings. They're gifts. They're your intuition's way of saying, you deserve better. Don't settle for less. So, if he's disrespectful, don't brush it off. If he's inconsistent, don't make excuses. If he makes you feel small, don't shrink yourself to fit into his world. That little voice in your head, it's there for a reason. Listen to it. Trust it. Because ignoring red flags doesn't make them go away. It just leads to heartbreak.
And you deserve so much better than that.
You deserve a love that's honest, kind, and unwavering. A love that doesn't make you question your worth. A love that feels like sunlight, not shadows. So, the next time you see a red flag, don't ignore it. Don't explain it away. Don't hope it'll change. See it for what it is. A sign that this isn't your person. And then, walk away. Because the right love won't make you ignore the red flags. It won't make you question your worth. It'll make you feel seen, heard, and cherished, exactly as you are. Now go out there and trust yourself. You already know what you deserve. Number 5. Never lose your independence. Let me tell you a story. A story about a woman named Clara. Clara was a force of nature. She had a career she loved, friends who adored her, and a passion for painting that lit up her soul. She was independent, confident, and unapologetically herself. Then she met someone. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel was charming, attentive, and swept Clara off her feet. At first, it was magical, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, things began to change. He'd say things like, "Why do you need to work so much? I can take care of you," or "Your friends don't understand us like I do." He'd guilt her for spending time on her hobbies, saying, "I just miss you when you're not around." Clara loved him, so she started to compromise. She cut back on work, saw her friends less, and even put her paintbrushes away. She told herself it was love, that this was what relationships were about. But one day, Clara looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. Where was the woman who lit up a room? The one who laughed loudly, dreamed boldly, and lived unapologetically? She felt smaller, quieter, like a shadow of herself. And then something happened. Daniel left. He said he'd fallen out of love, that she wasn't the same person he'd met. And Clara? She was shattered. Not just because he was gone, but because she realized she'd lost herself in the process of loving him. But here's the twist. Clara's story doesn't end there. One day, she picked up her paintbrushes again. At first, it was hard. Her hands shook, and the colors felt dull. But with every stroke, she began to remember who she was. She reconnected with her friends, threw herself into her work, and slowly, piece by piece, she rebuilt herself. And then she met someone new. Let's call him Alex. Alex didn't ask her to give up her independence.
He celebrated it.
He loved her for her strength, her ambition, her passion. He didn't want to take care of her. He wanted to partner with her. And for the first time, Clara realized what love was supposed to feel like. Here's the thing. Love is not about losing yourself. It's not about giving up your dreams, your friends, your independence. It's about sharing your life with someone who adds to it, not takes away from it. So, keep your own bank account. Keep your own friends. Keep your own hobbies. Stay financially and emotionally independent. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Don't ever give that up for anyone. Let me tell you another story. There was a woman named Maya who never lost her independence. She had a thriving career, a close-knit group of friends, and a love for hiking that took her to the most breathtaking places. When she met someone, she made it clear from the start, "I love you, but I also love myself. And I won't give up who I am for this relationship." And you know what? He respected her for it. he loved her for it. Because he knew that her independence wasn't a threat. It was what made her her. So, here's the deal. Love should never feel like a cage. It should feel like wings. It should lift you up, not weigh you down. It should make you feel free, not trapped. If someone asks you to give up your independence, that's not love. That's control.
And you deserve so much more than that.
You deserve a love that celebrates your strength, your ambition, your independence. A love that says, I love you for who you are, not who I want you to be.
So hold on to yourself.
Hold on to your dreams, your passions, your independence. Because the woman you are is enough. More than enough. And the right love will see that and celebrate it. Now go out there and live boldly, love fiercely, and never, ever lose yourself. The world is waiting for the magic only you can bring. Number 6. Never settle for less than you deserve. Let me tell you a story about a woman named Elena. Elena was kind, intelligent, and had a heart so big it could hold the world. But for some reason, she kept finding herself in relationships that left her feeling empty. There was Mark, who was always too busy to make plans but somehow had time for everyone else. Then there was Jake, who said he loved her but never showed it in any meaningful way. And finally, there was Chris, who strung her along for years, never fully committing but never letting her go either. Elena told herself it was enough. At least he's here, she'd think. At least I'm not alone. But deep down, she knew the truth. She was settling. And every time she did, a little piece of her light dimmed. One night, Elena's best friend, Sophia, sat her down and said, Elena, you are not a placeholder. You are not a for now. You are the prize. So why are you acting like a consolation gift? Those words hit Elena like a thunderclap. She realized she'd been treating herself like an option, not a priority, and she vowed to stop. Here's the thing, settling doesn't just hurt you in the moment. It chips away at your self-worth, your confidence, your belief in what you deserve. And the truth is, you deserve so much more than crumbs. You deserve the whole damn feast. Let me tell you another story. There was a woman named Priya who refused to settle. She'd been in relationships where she gave her all but got little in return. And one day, she decided enough was enough. She made a promise to herself, I will never settle for less than I deserve. When she met someone new, she paid attention to his actions, not just his words. Did he show up for her? Did he make her feel valued? Did he put in the effort to make the relationship work? And if the answer was no, she walked away. It wasn't easy. There were lonely nights and moments of doubt. But Priya held firm. And then she met Raj. Raj wasn't perfect, but he was perfect for her. He planned dates just to see her smile. He remembered the little things like how she took her coffee and her favorite book. And when she talked, he listened, not just to respond, but to understand. One day, Raj told her, You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'd move mountains to keep you in my life. And for the first time, Priya felt what it was like to be truly cherished. Here's the truth. You are not a placeholder. You are not a for now. You are the prize. And the right man will see that. He'll move mountains to be with you. He'll show up day after day, not because he has to, but because he wants to. So, if he's half-hearted, uncommitted, or just plain lazy, don't settle. Don't stay because you're afraid of being alone, or because you think you can't do better. You can, and you will. Let me tell you one more story. There was a woman named Amina who spent years in a relationship that felt like a lukewarm cup of tea, comfortable, but never thrilling. Her partner was kind but complacent, never going out of his way to make her feel special. One day, Amina realized she was tired of waiting for him to step up. She ended the relationship, even though it broke her heart. A year later, She met someone who made her feel alive in ways she never thought possible. He planned surprises, wrote her letters, and looked at her like she was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. And Amina realized something. Settling for less had only delayed her from finding the love she truly deserved. So, here's the deal. You are worthy of a love that's all in. A love that's passionate, committed, and unwavering. A love that makes you feel like the most important person in the room. Don't settle for less. Don't accept breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole loaf. Don't stay in a relationship that makes you feel small when you were born to shine. The right man will move mountains to be with you. He'll cherish you, respect you, and love you in a way that makes you feel like the queen you are. And until he comes along, don't be afraid to walk away from anything less. Because here's the truth, you are the prize. And the right love will treat you like one. Now go out there and demand the love you deserve. The world is waiting for you to claim it.